Hey, welcome everybody to Hope for Our Times. Here we are. It's what day is this? This is Thursday with You Can't Make This Up Thursday. As you can tell, I'm not in the studio again, but I'm excited to be with you guys. Got much to talk about. So listen, and we'd like to have a little bit of levity on Thursdays. We're going to get into some serious stuff here for the second half. But right now, let's just start with this because this is the reality. Check it out. This is the report behind the company behind the Miss Universe pageant files for bankruptcy. Why? Well, apparently, after they accepted transgender contestants, I'm thinking, okay, you watch what happened to Budweiser. I think Target keeps getting themselves into more and more trouble, which I'm kind of thankful about. And now, I mean, Miss Universe transgender. I mean, this stuff is literally, you can't make this stuff up, right? So it's like we live in an alternate reality, or you just go back just a few years, you would think that'll never happen. And then you look where we are and you go, what is this stuff? This is just absolutely crazy. Okay, if that's not bizarre enough, I'm going to show you a video right now, and you're going to see just how far out there. If you thought Miss Universe transgender bankruptcy thing, well, it's kind of like, I'm glad they're bankrupt. That's great. But if you think that's nuts, that they would do that, okay, watch this video, and now you're going to see really nuts. And this is definitely, you can't make this up. It's people, ready? Not wanting to identify as like cats or dogs or the opposite sex or whatever non-sex there is. Wait till you see this one. This is, yeah, let's roll this one. About the pig.
I know you're not about to roll in that. I know you're not about to roll in that. I hope he leave you when he see this.
Do you think I'm beautiful?
Yes, I do.
Oh, do you want some mud? It actually feels kind of nice.
Oh, okay, actually.
I ain't ever eating bacon again.
Oy vey. Oh my. Oh my. And how Terrence said, I ain't never eating bacon again. No kidding. Folks, this is just, let's call it what it is. There's only one of two options here. Either totally mentally ill and disturbed or possessed by demons. This is just how bizarre can people get when it comes to the weird stuff? I mean, can you get, just when you thought this can't get any more weird, then we get that. I mean, yeah, I'm never buying bacon again. I think I'm going to be kosher now. This is sick. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you, let's go with one more. This isn't quite as bizarre, but this one's a little bit of humor. We're going to need this next one. After seeing the pig video, we're going to need this next video. It'll be a little bit of levity for you guys. And then especially as we get into the rest of this where we deal with the serious stuff. So, all right, you ready for this? But this is you can't make this up. This one turns into pure entertainment. Unfortunately, it is the state of our political world here in the United States of America. So we're going to see it looks like what's about ready to be is an MMA fight with Bernie Sanders as the referee with the Senate. See, that's right. You can't make this up. Let's roll this one.
All right, y'all got to see this. A Republican senator almost just fought a union boss, and Bernie Sanders stepped in like the grandpa at Thanksgiving, trying to stop the grandkids from fighting.
Like he's self-made. Sir, I wish you was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution,
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down.
Okay.
You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If we can, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing.
Markwayne Mullin, the Republican senator, is actually an undefeated MMA fighter who had a record of 5-0 and was inducted into the Oklahoma Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2016. So my money's on Mullin.
I mean, I'm just saying sometimes you got to admit, I would have liked to have seen Mullen take out the other guy. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that on some live stream or something like that, but this stuff is just so ridiculous. But I mean, you look at the world in which we live. Hey, let's roll to some other things, because you and I are watching anti-Semitism is continuing to increase. Just when you think maybe it's going to calm down a little bit, you go to these channels that lean right? And so you have political. We understand all the anti-Semitism that comes from the university professors. We get it from all of these colleges, the students. They've gone radically left. They claim that Israel is killing the civilians over there intentionally. The IDF soldiers are. That's what they're doing. You expect it from Rashida Tlaib. You expect it from Ilhan Omar. You expect it from AOC. You expect it from every pro-Palestinian group that's out there. But if you're paying attention, you and I are witnessing this coming from the right now. And you're seeing it going, well, wait a minute. These people are in the same camp as Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, these Muslims, just the whole bit. We're watching it. They're in the same league with these leftist professors at these universities. And you're thinking, how do you end up here? I'll tell you how you end up here. You don't put the Bible first. If you don't have the Bible as your starting position, then you're going to be open up to whatever opinion or whatever bent you have within your own heart. And the heart is deceitful and wicked. There's no one who has a heart that's not deceitful and wicked. Hence, we've got to start with the Bible. But when you don't start with this, you don't start with the Bible, then you're going to be led by what your preconceived notions are. So even if you're already leaning right, if you already have this, the Jews cause all these problems, then guess what? You're going to go down that path because you don't have the word. Listen, let me read a psalm to you before we go into some of the other things. But Psalm 120, Psalm of Ascents. It's the Psalms of Ascents are when they're the songs that the people of Israel would sing as they would make their way to the tabernacle or make their way in Jerusalem when the temple was there at the Temple Mount. As they were making their way up there, maybe from the Pool of Siloam, Shiloach, or coming up from the Wadi Kelt as they're making their way to Jerusalem. Something Jesus would have done, the apostles would have done, all the Jews would have done on the feast days. Think of Passover, making their way to Jerusalem. They would sing these songs, the Psalms of Ascent, and Psalm 120 is one of those. And the psalmist wrote, "In my distress I cried to the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given to you, or what shall be done to you, you false tongue? Sharp arrows of the warrior with coals of the broom tree." And he's talking about how the lies of a person and the gossip of a person and what people say can destroy another person. This case is nation versus nation. and person versus person. And it continues, woe is me that I dwell in Meshech, that I dwell among the tents of Kedar. My soul has dwelt too long with one who hates peace. Listen to this. Again, Psalm 120, verse 6, my soul has dwelt too long with one who hates peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. I mean, if you start looking at Israel, as you go back pre-1948, then you hit 1948, and you follow Israel right up on through the years. 1967, 1973, on into the 90s, Oslo Peace Accords, 2005 when Israel gave Gaza over to the Palestinians, 2006, you have the Lebanon War. You follow through to where we are right now, and constantly Israel's been willing to make peace, but the problems, Yasser Arafat and others, they've rejected any peace offer. They come to the table saying, we want peace as soon as peace is put on the table. No, what we want is an end to Israel. We want the Jews wiped out of the land. Here's a question for you guys just to think about. Let's say the Jews said, okay, we're going to give up the land of Israel, all of it. Would the world accept the Jews to come into any of their land? No. The world will not accept them. We see the anti-Semitism. So when somebody says the Jews shouldn't be in Israel, they're occupying land, such a stupid statement, you look and you realize, wait a minute, you have this Islamic invasion occupying the land of Israel, but that's another story. But where are the Jews going to go? They don't want them in their neighborhood. Well, we don't want them in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Europe, Russia, China. Don't want them, right? So where are they going to go? It's because the world doesn't want them, and the world being led by Satan. Remember, Satan is the prince of the power there. He's the god of this world, the Bible tells us. Satan hates the Jews. He wants to eliminate the Jews, primarily because of the problem that he has. As long as Jews are here, then Jesus promised in Matthew chapter 23, you will not see me again until you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. In fact, in other words, you will see me at the end when you cry out, Zechariah chapter 12, and look upon him whom he pierced, and they will cry out to the Lord, and the Lord will return. Well, Satan wants to show that Jesus is a liar, that God doesn't keep his promises. So if he eliminates all of the Jews, Jesus doesn't have the Jews to come back to. Hence, Jesus isn't coming back. So that's really what's the gist here. And if Jesus doesn't come back, then Satan doesn't face his eternal judgment. He doesn't want that. So he's doing everything he can through the minions, the people that he works with here on this planet, and there's a lot of them, to eliminate the Jews from this planet. And so I hear these arguments coming from people on the right that literally are lining themselves up with Rashida Tlaib in thinking. Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and all these other leftists. The reality of it is, I'm going to show you another video. The Muslim world, when you have Islamic regime in charge, you start finding out that the people are oppressed. Isaiah chapter 9 even says the people of Egypt are going to turn to the Lord of Israel because of their oppressors. But watch this video explained by a Muslim talking about what happens and why you can't have these people lead a nation. Let's roll this next video. It's regarding the Muslim protesting against Muslims.
The political correctness, is that going to be the death of our societies around the world?
It is the current beginning of the death. It's already happening. There are areas in France where Christians cannot walk freely. President Macron has come out saying that the Islamist movements want to secede from France. This is a leader of a country telling you that he has lost control. He's admitting finally that he has lost control. There are serious agendas being played in that region. Look, I am a Muslim, but I cannot live in an Islamist theocracy. I can live in a Christian government based on their constitution, because that is where peace lies. I can't live in a place where ISIS rules the the area. That's no Muslim with a brain that works would want to live under ISIS, right? And when we come to the West trying to warn the governments and intelligence agencies about what is happening, about the people we fled from, we have this new political correctness agenda that tells us, oh, we're the racists, we're the ones who are traitors, and the extremists needs to be understood and embraced, and they have a point, let's listen to them, and sooner or later they're in parliament, they're in government, and there you go in America, you have Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib changing the narrative in Washington that is now affecting the whole, influencing and affecting the narrative around the world, attacking Jews, attacking Christians, and this is just the beginning. So if Christians don't wake up, Christian leaders don't wake up, then we Muslims who fled from extremists can't help you anymore. We tried warning you.
So there you have it, folks. The truth is there. I mean, you realize, listen, for those of you who've been over to Israel, whoever you've been with, whether me or someone else, you start realizing you meet a lot of people that are Muslim, that are working in the Jewish neighborhoods, and most of the people actually want to get along. But you got the terror group like Hamas in there, or Islamic Jihad, or Hezbollah. They just totally oppress the people. They destroy them. And this, what the gentleman just said, is the reality. If you've been to Israel and you've been into the Jewish places and you see the Muslims working side by side, you start to realize these things. And when you go into the other neighborhoods too, you go into parts of Judea and Samaria, you start to realize that most people want to get along. But there's a lot of radical Islamic people out there that have very bad intentions. And that's what that gentleman was just speaking of. I'm going to show you this. This is a pretty quick video. It's happening up in, it was happening up in San Francisco, but we're seeing it happening. This is playing out all over the world. It's played out in Canada. In fact, the Gaza protesters in Canada, they were slamming Trudeau, which is kind of funny because it's Trudeau's own policies that got these radicals to go up there into Canada. And we see here in the United States. So we're going to show you in San Francisco, but this is happening all over. In fact, you might have seen the protests, the pro-Palestinian protests in London too. And the police are saying, we can't control this. If you saw the pro-Israel position just the other day, we stand with Israel in D.C., how 290,000 people is the official count. What do you have? No arrests, no violence, none of that stuff. And then you see the pro-Palestinian one. It's exactly the opposite because these people are radical. Okay, I'm going to show you this video. It's short. It's in San Francisco. I want to explain something, and then I'm going to turn over to a globalist thing here in just a second. Then we'll wrap it up. But go ahead and show this this short video with these up in San Francisco, what happened with the pro-Palestinian march. So there you go. Did you see it? Tell me we're being invaded without telling me we're being invaded, right? So here's the reality of it. We are seeing actual radical ones. That wasn't any radical things you saw there with people being up and all kinds of violence taken, going on, Jews being beaten up, Jews being killed. Yes, it really is happening here in America as anti-Semitism is increasing. Let me tell you something about what's going on with the borders. So we have these massive open borders, especially thanks to Obama before, and now the Biden administration. So you look at all of these people that have come across the border, the millions of people upon millions of people upon millions of people. And as we in America are distracted saying there's a Mexican invasion, no, that was the distraction by the enemy. Look at all the people that are coming up from Mexico that are Mexican. No, what was really happening, we know sex trafficking, we know that. And then you find out, wait a minute, there's all these radicals are coming up from Muslim nations that have nothing but evil intent, that are being filtered into all kinds of cities around America, one not too far from here in a place called Victorville, California. And you start looking, going, wait a minute, they're going into the cities. These are Muslims, unaccounted for, actually delivered even by airplane or by bus into these cities. Nobody's talking about that because they're all saying, look at all the Mexicans that are coming up. The Mexicans are cover. I'm telling you, they are being used as cover by our wicked leaders in D.C. to bring in this Muslim invasion that really is happening. And then just two more things, right? By the way, did you see the homeless fire in Los Angeles underneath the 10 freeway? Some of you saw that. Shut down the 10 freeway. It burned it. It's melted. Now it's they have no idea when they're going to be able to reopen the freeway. The 10 freeway, for any of you that are familiar with that downtown Los Angeles area, that's bad. That is going to mess up LA. I mean, again, you know what? I shouldn't be saying it with a smile, but whatever. I live in California, but some of these things we have coming here because of our horrible, horrific, disgusting political leadership that we have here in the big cities and in the state. And this is only the beginning. Folks, we are only at the beginning of this stuff. Okay. I wanted to get some globalist stuff. I will. Just real quick. Check this out. These came from a picture that one of our viewers had sent me about a week and a half ago. And it was just a reminder because I've flown a lot in the past. And so check this out. So it's called One World, I think One World Alliance or something like that. It is with all these different airlines. You can see the list of the airlines. There you are, Qatar Airlines, Finnair, American Airlines, Qantas, Japan Airlines, the British Airlines, so forth, all these different airlines. Notice in the middle, what do you have? One World Airlines. And we are constantly being hit up with this. If you flew American or British or any of those, you start to notice you're getting this messaging that's out there. Let's bring about a one world government. So you don't have to do it with the government. They're doing it with business. Business is doing it because it's better for business. But we can see everything. The banks are getting bigger as the smaller ones are being swallowed up. It's been going on a long time. But the fact that they name this one world, and you start realizing what they're even saying when they talk about having a one world alliance, and you go, let me see if I can pull up this one picture. Be global, be one, as one of those pictures said. Be global, be one. So the messaging is coming from pretty much all the different sources. Listen, folks, I want you to remember this. We have a great weekend coming up. John Haller is going to be in the house on Sunday night, by the way. So it's going to be really, really cool. But keep this in mind. As we watch what's going on in Israel, absolutely horrific, no doubt about it. Israel is eventually going to come out ahead on that, right? It will. I don't know when we're going to be raptured. I keep looking. I don't know when the day or the hour that's going to be, but we can see God moving the prophetic clock. He has his time frame. He's going to bring it about. But as we're watching that, listen, the globalists are using what's going on in Israel right now as cover. I'm not saying they planned that, but they're using it as cover. They're going to use any crisis they can. The border here in America, I believe that is their agenda. They did blow open the border intentionally and using the Mexicans as cover to bring in all these other things that are going on. They're using big business to bring about a global world order. We've seen it with several other things over the last 4 years now. So we're watching what they're doing. Don't forget, World Health Organization is still moving forward, World Economic Forum, Center for Disease Control, the United States of America, and other countries in of the Western world are all ceding their power to the World Health Organization. And then we have the lies of the climate laws. And by the way, check out my interview I had yesterday with Alex Newman, where we got into that in the meeting, the bishops, the meeting of Catholic bishops and cardinals or something like that. We talked about that yesterday. If you can, it's on the app. It was an app exclusive. Check that out with Alex Newman. John Haller is going to be in the house this Sunday night. And God bless you guys.